All right, Duke has a game tonight. This is arguably the game of the night, given the quiet exam week slate. The Blue Devils will host Hofstra, aka the Pride. Hofstra, pretty good basketball team. I know Duke's non-conference schedule, especially the home games, typically, got some cupcakes mixed in there. I feel like name brand alone, people would look at the last couple games they've played, Charlotte and Hofstra back to back, and sort of just roll their eyes. But Charlotte actually pretty good basketball team. Duke gave a really good performance in that game. Hofstra's even better than Charlotte is. They are 101st on KenPom right now, 6-3 on the season. They haven't beaten any top 100 teams yet, but they have played competitive with Princeton. And they just took St. Louis to a 3-point game. St. Louis isn't very good this year, but the point is, like, they have some stuff to them, this Hofstra team. Should Duke be worried at all tonight?
They should be worried just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. I think that the part that would worry me if I'm a Duke fan is if you let this Hofstra team hang around for too long because they got guys that can go. Like for everyone who was a Hofstra fan last year, or not a Hofstra fan, but a Hofstra watcher from afar, like they saw what Aaron Estrada did in a lot of games like last year. Now the guard that's at Alabama, they got a guy who's a bucket, maybe even more of a bucket than Aaron Estrada. Tyler Thomas, just coming off a 29-point game. I believe he is currently, let me check this, fourth in the nation in scoring with 23.6 points per game and just had a 40-point game earlier this season. They have other guys on this team that are also averaging over 18 points a game. I mean, this is a team that they got guys that can fill it up. All right. The only thing that they're at a clear disadvantage is that if Flip and Mark Mitchell are locked in, both of those guys could get 20 and 20. This is a game that could dominate in the front court. And they have dominated teams and covered at home this year. Like they dominated a pretty good LaSalle team who has some pretty good scores at home and covered in that game. So it's a game that could get dangerous quickly if they don't assert their dominance right away, especially in the front court. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a game that Duke wins at home.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're going to go bold enough to call the upset here.
I wanted to really, really bad, especially because I only watched one Hofstra game in like prep for this. I watched the game against Princeton. Tyler Thomas is a bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a real life bucket. And that's a dangerous man for real. And to be honest with you, like, is Tyler Thomas going to be the best guard on the floor tomorrow or tonight?
No. No, he's
No,
not. No, he's
no.
not. No, he's
Okay.
not. He's he
Can
don't get me wrong, he's
can you make
good.
an argument? I mean, Tyrese Proctor is probably out with the ankle.
Yeah, you can definitely make an argument. I think if Jared McCain was on Hofstra, he's probably scoring 30.
Okay, yeah, good
I
point.
think Caleb Foster might be able to do the same. I think Jeremy Roach would have an argument for putting up these numbers. I think, look, I don't mean to downplay it. Hofstra's very good. Tyler Thomas is very good. For our Field of 68 mid-major account that I've been helping Brian Burton and Sean Paul out with, Thomas has won player of the night like a bunch of times already this season. He's really, really good. This Hofstra team, sneaky great name team, by the way. Like, I just want people to realize this is one of the best name teams in the country. We have Darlinstone Dubar. We have Jacko Fritz. We have German Plotnikov and Silas Sunday all in the rotation for this Hofstra team. This is absolutely you circle this team and you remember them. And then if they make the NCAA tournament, like I picked them to the Sweet 16 off names alone team. That's for sure a thing with this team. But they play really fun brand of basketball. Offensively, very, very good. And they can shoot the three. They're efficient from everywhere. When they get to the line, they make all their free throws. They shoot a bunch of threes also. Like, they don't play super fast. It's not run and gun, but like 46% of their shot attempts come from three. So if they're hot, like, they can beat anybody. The only thing is, their defense is not good enough to win games like this unless their offense goes nuclear. And they don't have a horrible defense by any means. Like, for a mid-major team, their defense is fine. But I think when they go up a level in competition, they don't have the type of team that's like going to go out and give Duke any resistance. It's just more like lean back and hope that we can keep up with them offensively. That's a recipe for disaster for me on the road in Cameron. Because like you said, there's two games this season that Duke has played that I think game script wise remind me a lot of Hofstra. It's been Duke's 2 best performances of the year. It's when they blew out LaSalle at home and then they blew out Charlotte at home last game without Tyrese Proctor. So I think this is a classic head versus heart game for me. My heart wants to bet Hofstra hugely and watch this game and be like, oh, they got guards that can keep up. My head is screaming Duke's going to win this game by like 36 points and hang 100 on them. And that is my pick. For the record, I will be betting this game. I don't know if Daily Picks is coming back today or not, but I did a write-up for the Action Network. Duke minus 15.5 is my play of the day. And dare I say, Cart,
Wait. Hold on a second, Greg. I don't want to cut you off while you're cooking. It's at 15.5. I like you just said, I'm with Hofstra. Like I love Tyler Thomas. We all talked about the guys you just spoke on. But Duke at home to beat a team like Hofstra by 15.5.
Yeah.
I are they trying to trick us there a little bit? Like that seems crazy. Like in my first thought right there was I would sprinkle Duke line alternate like to win this game by 20.
Yeah, it's 15.5. And I think the reason it's 15.5, as far as I can tell, is speculation that Tyrese Proctor is not going to play. So we have we have the sports books thinking Tyrese Proctor's like worth 4 to 5 points for Duke. So I think this line would have been at least like 18, 19 if he was active. But if I was the sports book and Tyrese Proctor was playing, and the line now is 15 without Tyrese Proctor, I would make the line 10 with Proctor. I think Duke's better without Tyrese Proctor there. I said it. I know Duke fans are going to hate me for that, but I think there's a very fair argument of this at this point. I think Proctor's been really bad this season. I think like the ball kind of stops when it gets to him sometimes. When they get in tight situations, he looks really uncomfortable. Look, they lost to Georgia Tech without Proctor. Obviously, they're not unbeatable without him. He went down a minute into that game. Like, that's kind of an emotional swing, I would say. When they had a week to prep for Charlotte, they looked awesome against Charlotte without Proctor, and they looked awesome because some of their guys that normally haven't looked awesome looked great. Jared McCain, 21 points. Jeremy Roach was really good. Jalen Blakes had 15 points off the bench. Caleb Foster didn't go crazy, but I like seeing him in a larger role. And I know I come across as a Proctor hater, but the old Bill Simmons Ewing theory, I think, could apply here. I think Duke's going to be just fine without him.
Yeah, I do too, especially because I think it's more of an opportunity for other guys to step up who are also very talented. And look, I think part of the reason why I side with you on the Tyrese Proctor thing, and don't get me wrong, I think Tyrese Proctor is a good player, but you have a point guard who has been very good in Jeremy Roach and played a lot of basketball. And then you combine that with 2 good young freshman guards. And obviously Proctor can factor into that too, because he's talented in his own right. But, you look to the Charlotte game, probably the first full game or second full game with Proctor being out, you get a career high from Jared McCain with 21 points. There's just a lot of guard talent on this team. And I think it gives other guys a chance to step up in this game. And I think that guys like McCain will, Roach will, and, even Caleb Foster will. I mean, getting 15 from Jalen Blakes, I don't think is very sustainable, just given the landscape of how he's played throughout his whole career. But
I was wondering how you're going to tie that. I thought you were saying, given who Jalen Blakes is.
I didn't want to go there. But without even mentioning the guards, there's no one on this Hofstra team that can stop Flip.
Yeah. Right. The fact that we're at this point in the preview and we haven't mentioned the best player on the floor is probably
if we wanted to make this one of a Twitter video that we don't pray for premium and we got to make it like under a minute. Duke has Flip and Hofstra doesn't. If Flip wants to, he could go for a nuclear like 30-20 game easily. And if I'm not mistaken too, unless you can think of one off the top of your head, I'm not good with memory, not one of my strong suits. Actually, it is, but it isn't. When's like the last team to like really get hot in Cameron to beat Duke? Like I know teams have beat Duke in Cameron, but has it ever been a team that you can think of on the top of your head that just got unreal hot from 3 and beat them?
I'm looking for like a team that's not like an ACC team, because obviously Carolina's had success. There's been good Miami teams, good Virginia teams that have gone into Cameron. The last Duke non-conference home loss. Well, obviously this season it was Arizona.
Yeah, before
Pri-
that, was it like that Stephen F. Austin loss?
Prior to that, a couple Big Ten teams in 2021, Illinois and Michigan State got them. But yeah, Stephen F. Austin in 20 was the last like mid-major. And yeah, Stephen F. Austin, it wasn't from three. They were 2 for 10
Yeah.
from three in that game.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. So it's extreme. I think that Hofstra style of play is extremely hard to beat Duke at Cameron.
yeah, I completely agree with you. Duke's gonna win. Duke's gonna roll. You said nobody can stop Flip. Nobody can stop Ryan Young from Hofstra. It doesn't have to just be like the first team All American Duke has. I don't think they can stop anybody.
Can't stop Mike
Hofstra's Hofstra does have a good 2 point defense though, but from all that I can tell, that's competition based. Like
Mm,
I don't think they do anything schematically that makes them great against 2 point defense. I think that's going to come crashing down to earth when they play the Blue Devils. So,
yeah.
all right, go Duke tonight. I feel like I'm officially a Dookie for the first time in my life, and I feel disgusted.
Yeah. And if any college basketball fans are struggling during this finals week, this is probably the game I'm flipping on. No pun intended.
Do Duke players care about finals week?
Yes,
Should we be concerned about that?
a little bit. I think that is why it is at 15.5.
I don't think McCain cares.
McCain definitely cares.
Isn't he league?
Yeah, but I think he was like a high school valedictorian.
Oh no. All right. Good luck, Duke. Now I'm scared.
Sorry.